TIFU by fooling around with a neighbor who's on the HOA board. I know this is a first world problem. It still sucks. I had fooled around with a neighbor who happens to sit on the board of our building's HOA. It hadn't been an issue until recently when I declined to fool around with him. I learned that he had been dating some girl, and as far as I can tell, she does not know that he has an FWB in the building. Feeling uncomfortable about the FWB arrangement, I told him very politely what my reasons were for saying no to a request for a quick beach. I had to remind him very calmly and rationally that he cannot grandfather in casual sex when he is in a relationship with someone else. Life does not work that way. Well, I think he's angry. I can't prove it without a lot of expensive legal fees that I don't think is worth the squeeze. In short, he sits on the HOA board, and I am pretty certain that he is an influential voice on the Architectural Improvement Committee. This is the committee that residents have to submit unit alteration applications to for approval. Yes, even for something like wall-mounting TVs or putting a planter on the balcony. One of the items that needs pre-approval is outdoor furniture. I imagined it was pretty pro forma. Fill out the application. Make sure it is heavy enough that it won't fly off the balcony and hurt someone on the street. And bam, approved. When I saw this set that I liked for an outdoor refresh, I placed the order because I thought it would be approved without problems. It was a limited sale. And a very good deal. Then I got the rejection on Friday. To make matters worse, the furniture had already been delivered because it took the HOA forever to review the application. The reason the committee provided was that the color of the sunbrella cushions was not consistent with the aesthetic of the common spaces. I immediately replied with a question. Why did Unit X get approved for their teal cushions and mine got denied? Their reply was that it was an oversight. Moving forward, they would not allow unapproved colors anymore. I just know it was him. I can't prove it without getting an attorney and alleging inconsistent application of HOA rules. Depose them and find out. But again, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I can get new cushions that are neutral, but I can't return my fun cushions and I'm out several $100s because of it. This sucks so much. TLDR. My balcony furniture got rejected by the HOA and I highly suspect it is because my EXFWB is being a petty biatch. I'm also out hundreds of dollars because the cushions that were rejected are non-refundable. Maybe I should have agreed to his request until after my outdoor furniture was approved. This is a very fun story. Disclaimer. Current HOA board member who knows way too much about our nonsense. So, first off, your HOA should have official records. Any decisions on the Architectural Control Committee are part of those official records, including emails concerning those decisions. You as a member have access to those records, and they cannot refuse you access. So, request to see the records related to your refusal. And you'll know right quick if he was involved. He should have recused himself after disclosing his conflict of interest if he didn't. Tell the rest of the board of directors, and they'll fold pretty quick to your request or even request his resignation, which seems like it would all be to the best. All that aside, I should note that in most states they have to respond to your request for a proposed architectural change within 30 days. If they didn't respond quickly enough, you can absolutely move forward with the change and they can go pound sand. Given you note they took forever respond, they might have already effectively forfeited their right of refusal to your request. If you want to resolve your HOA approval issue quickly, send an email to the official email account asking if your recent refusal of approval was related to you refusing to give a BJ to a sitting member of the HOA board and CC a local attorney. Check your bylaws. There might be a time requirement for their approval, rejection. If they took too long, it might be an automatic approval. Tell the HOA. Write them a letter explaining your relationship with him and end with, "I can't help wondering how much of this decision comes out of his disappointment in my refusal to continue a sexual relationship with him. I'd like to request that the HOA reconsider my application, but now with name recused from the discussion and decision-making, and I'd like to request that, from now on, with any decision that involves me, he recuse himself. You can mention your lawyer as well." Seems like an HOA board member having relations with at least 2 members he is responsible making decisions for is a conflict of interest and possibly a form of quid pro quo harassment. I can't prove it without getting an attorney and alleging inconsistent application of HOA rules. Depose them and find out. What you can do is make sure his GF finds out about his casual sex habits. Don't threaten to reveal that info. That would be blackmail. Just tell her and let it blow up on him. Once that's public knowledge, a harassment suit becomes much easier to prove the next time something is denied. You could just message the girl he's been dating. If he wants to be petty, so can you. HOAs should be illegal. What a joke. Sounds like you have some dirt or could potentially blackmail him. I'm so glad I moved to Greece from the US. I can do whatever the fuck I want in my apartment and my balcony. Land of the free, my lily white ass. And I suppose you don't have text messages proving your past relationship with that guy? I'll never understand how HOAs got so much power to just stop you from doing things in your own property that you pay a mortgage on. Name and shame. The whole concept of the HOA is wild to me as someone not from the US. Conflict of interest. If you felt so inclined, you could probably get him to admit to a bunch of stuff in an SMS or record him talking about having relations with you and the other woman. Tell the board and he out. I'm glad you stuck to your principles. Are the cushions really worth cheapening yourself? Your FWB forgot what the F stands for. Read the bylaws. The HOA is a non-profit and must have a conflict of interest section. Even less work would be officially asking for a copy of it or an explanation of the recusal rules. You have the oversight comment in writing? There's no grandfather clause and all shareholders must be treated the same. Either they have to approve you too or those other units with oversights must be also made to remove them. They'll likely choose to approve you. Hire a lawyer to send them a notice and you may likely have a discrimination case where you can actually seek monetary damages. Source: not a lawyer but I've sat on an HOA board. Inform someone in the board that Mr. X has a conflict of interest and this should abstain from making decisions related to you. If they ask for details, say that it is confidential and will need approval from Mr. X before being disclosed. Lol. And if all the other suggestions don't work, threaten to tell his GF.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.